Welcome to the Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Franklin Group listing presentation. This listing presentation is going to be done live. I'm in the process of listing Jessica's home for her, and we're just going to go ahead and move forward. We're going to use the cloud CMA with the Better Homes and Gardens greenhouse marketing materials that come with the cloud CMA. So we're just going to act like we are in Jessica's home, and I've arrived to her home. So there we go. We'll move forward from here. So thank you, Jessica, for giving me a great tour of your home. You have a really nice home, and I'm super excited to try to help you get that home sold for as much money as possible in the shortest amount of time, of course. I noticed that you're the only one on title for your home, but I know you mentioned you were married. So I just want to make sure and check with you, is there anybody else involved in the decision-making process today? I know it's just you and I here.
Well, my husband is overseas, but I'm on title and I have all the decision-making.
Okay, great. Well, great. So what we're saying then is, after I show you all the materials I brought, you know, if everything is exactly the way you need it to be, you'd be ready to list today. Yeah, great. So I want to know, before we get moving forward and I go through the actual listing presentation that I prepared for you and the actual market analysis I prepared for you, what are your main concerns?
All right, so I have 4 main concerns, but I also have a bunch of other questions too.
Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do then is I want to address your 4 main concerns first. Like I said, I've got this full market analysis. I've done a listing of your, went through the whole MLS input sheet, and we've done the tour of your home. So I have some ideas and suggestions, but I always like to start with my clients to find out exactly what their biggest concerns are, so I make sure I address those. We're going to spend probably a little less than an hour, and then when we get toward the end, we'll kind of see where we're at. It might be over an hour, but we're hoping to try to stick to an hour. Okay. You mentioned that's how much time you have before your daughter gets home. So, all right, so tell me, what are your 4 main concerns?
Okay, so how can I show my home safely with COVID?
Okay, great. So that is one of the big concerns right now. And we have an actual sheet, I've given you a copy of that shows how to safely see homes as a buyer and how to safely show homes as a seller. We will put in the agent remarks how you want your home to be showed. What we'll do every time you're having a showing is we'll ask you to turn on all the lights and open up all the doors. And we can ask the buyers to also make sure that they use hand sanitizer and that they wear masks. Make sure we review the. Could you please mute yourself? Please mute. Thank you. So anyway, so that's what we'll do, is we will go through the whole COVID safety procedures that I've given you a copy of with every potential buyer that comes through and their agents to make sure that it's safe. Okay. Does that help you with that concern?
Yeah, that helps. That gives some clarification.
Excellent. So what is your next question?
How much do you charge? And we've already met with like a discount realtor, and I'm just kind of curious how that's going to work.
Okay, that's excellent. I like to get those big questions out of the way right up front, because otherwise, while I'm doing this big presentation, you're just thinking of that question.
Right. And
in today's market, there are a lot of discount types of people out there, and we can name them all, but I don't think it's necessary here on this presentation. But what I will tell you is this: is Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate is an international company. Okay, I use international, national, and local marketing. Franklin Group has been in business for almost 30 years locally, and so I network not only with the Better Homes and Gardens realtors, but all the realtors I've known for the last 30 years. Okay. Only about 5 to 7% of the realtors out there are actually what we call top producing realtors, doing at least 20 transactions a year. Some water. But only about 5 to 7% are actually producing agents that are top producing agents. Okay. And the reason you want a top producing agent is because the real estate transactions become more and more complicated. Every year, due to litigation people getting sued, and due to all the different types of marketing that's going on out there, all the different types of social media, all the different types of video, all of that, there's only a certain amount of agents who are actually using those tools and fully marketing properly. There are discount brokerages out there that'll say to you, I'm going to do this for 1%, but then they'll come to you and say, well, I'll do it for 1%, but we're going to put it on the MLS and we need to offer the buyer's agent a certain amount of money, which buyer's agents here in the state of Utah are used to getting 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4%. And so they earn a living with that, and they expect to be paid through the listing itself, right, through the MLS. That's how it works. And so the reason we don't highly recommend that you work with a discount brokerage is, one, their experience. Most of them are low producers, so they haven't experienced overcoming inspections and appraisal issues. They haven't experienced how to stage, how to help you. Like when you met with the last discount brokerage, were they willing to help stage your home?
I don't think they mentioned anything about staging.
Do they use professional photography?
I don't think she mentioned that either.
Okay, so there's just a couple of little things. And so,
yeah.
So how much I charge is when I get to the end, I show you all what I do. And then I basically charge what my company, Better Homes and Gardens Franklin Group, has deemed a necessary amount of money in order for us to still make a little bit of money, still be able to make sure you get as much money in your pocket as possible, and that we're able to do all the international and national marketing, and also have a full team of service professionals behind you. Okay. So that's that question. What other? Let me check that one off. What other questions do you have?
What makes you better than other realtors, and what should I list with you?
Well, that's what this Cloud CMA and all the information in here is going to show you. Okay. So we'll go through that. Okay. And then what was your other question?
How much can I sell my home for?
And that's in here too.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and we'll get started on it then. So one of the things that I do when someone calls me to list their home is I immediately start analyzing it. Okay. I analyze it thoroughly and come up with some great ideas of how I'm going to market it. So here's your home. This is a picture of it right here, right? And I pulled that off the last listing, so I kind of know when you bought and sold your home before, right, and the people behind it. And I understand you got yours in a foreclosure sale, so you got a really good deal.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And I'm sure you've changed many, many things about your home. This is a little letter to you. And I also included your husband because I know that you were married, but I know that he's not on title. So I included him because I know people like to be involved even though they're making the decisions. Okay. Talked about my experience, and I've been doing this for close to 30 years. I am also a licensed broker, and I hold several designations. And with you, you might not know what those designations are, but just to let you know, like I'm a graduate of the Realtor Institute. I'm accredited buyer representative. I do relocation. I've done military. I am heavily involved in marketing. Okay. I do take personal pictures in the beginning, but I also have a professional come over when we're done getting your home staged. I actually am in the process of becoming a staging certified person through Better Homes and Gardens, and then I've also got certified stagers that work with our company. Okay. We like to work with what you have. Would you want furniture brought in, or would you be able to think we could use your furniture?
I honestly am not sure if I have to look at it.
Well, looking at what I've seen, you have enough pieces here that you probably don't need to have furniture brought in because that's an extra cost.
Right.
But we probably could work with what you have. So that's good. But this is my resume, my personal resume. And like I said to you, here's the company's resume. And the company, I will tell you, transactions per agent here in the Wasatch Front of the northern Utah area, our company has the highest amount of transactions per agent. Okay. And we have the highest amount of agents doing over 20 transactions. Now, there are companies who have way more agents than us, than we do, but we have experienced agents. And experienced agents sell homes. So the very first thing I would do when I list your home is I would network with the agents in my company and the agents that I know that I've known for years since I've been in the business for so long, the top producing agents. Okay. They would all get information about your listing immediately. That would generate a ton of showings. So that's the first thing I would do. Okay. Now this talks about what a market analysis is, and I talked to you on the phone on that. I'm comparing your home to all the other homes in your immediate area to determine what we should market it at. Okay. And to make sure we can get the highest price possible in the shortest amount of time. Okay. Now, what do you think the highest price possible in the shortest amount of time? Would that meet your needs?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes, definitely. So this is a little bit more about me and how to contact me. This is the strategies about selling your home and choosing the right real estate professional. I think the way we've been working together thus far, I'm believing you've already chosen me.
Okay.
I'm thinking that you've already eliminated the possibility of using a discount brokerage. Am I correct?
We're getting.
You're getting there. Good, good. All right. So I like to make sure we understand each other's expectations, and that's why I like to check with you. But I, you know, I want you to know that your home is one of the largest investments anybody's, and most expensive assets that we have. Okay. So choosing a truly qualified, top producing realtor is very, very important. You had mentioned also that you might consider selling by yourself.
Yes.
I highly recommend to people to not do for sale by owners because of two reasons. One, no one in the for sale by owner transaction is representing you. And the second reason is, how many homes do you sell a year?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so what happens a lot of times, two things in my experience, for sale by owners end up having a legal issue while they're in the process of trying to sell their home. They might get contractually obligated to sell their home to a person who can't really afford it or can't really get the transaction done. And it could take months and months and months to untangle themselves from a contract that they entered into so they essentially are off the market, but not really able to sell to the buyer that they're. The second reason is licensed professionals like myself who are looking for a specific home may turn around and start calling for sale by owners if they can't find that home on the market.
Okay.
And you'll end up essentially paying the buyer's agent to work with the buyer, and then the buyer's agent's not representing you, they're just representing the buyer. And you'll find out at the end of the transaction that you make less money than you thought you were going to, that no one was really helping you during the transaction. And you've included your lovely wood burning stove, you've included all your oriental rugs, you didn't really realize that because you didn't see it in the contract. A bunch of things could get included or done. You're paying all the buyer's closing costs and you didn't really understand how that worked. And so you have no one representing you. So for sale by owners can get their home sold sometimes through another agent, but that agent is solely representing the buyer. And you're paying that agent, but yet you're not getting any representation yourself. And most of the time you pay that agent a good 3%, 3.5%. So for a few more percentage points, you have full representation. So. So I would like to understand your expectations, and we've been talking about that, about what you want for marketing and your concerns about paying a realtor at a discount brokerage. So I think we've covered that. The big things that Better Homes and Gardens has that other brokerages don't have is we have access to tons of staging information and tons of marketing opportunities for you. The first impression your home makes is super important. Curb appeal, staging, interior condition, and access.
Okay.
And after going through your home, I have made a short list of things that we'll want to do, and we can discuss those after we get the listing signed. I don't like to go into staging and repairs and moving stuff out. I call it the 3 C's, the clean, which your home is very clean, by the way. The curb appeal, which I think we could definitely improve with a few suggestions in your mom that way. And then, of course, the clutter and how we live in our homes. Like if you came to my home right now, there's probably some stuff on the kitchen counter. There's probably some laundry sitting on top of the laundry room. There's probably some things in our rooms and in my guest rooms and stuff like that could be removed. And I probably have entirely too much furniture. Okay, those things I can go through with you in a very short period of time, and we can work on getting that removed, because how we sell our home is different than how we live in it. Okay. So we'll talk about that. And here's all the details about curb appeal and staging. And here's all the way we market your home on and offline. We work with List Hub. We work with Zillow. We work with all sorts of international GUI, which is a Chinese kind of form of Zillow. We work with them. We list your home on that. We list your home all over. We have access to all of this because we're professional, full-service realtors. Discount brokerages generally don't pay the extra fees to get these things, and for sale by owners, there's no way you would have access to those things because they just get super expensive. So I will do a single property page for you. We will do a tour of your home, and we'll turn it into kind of a video. We will take professional pictures of your home, and I will also market it on social media. Do you do a lot of social media, Jessica? No. I'm going to tell you right now, social media is very important in marketing your home.
Okay.
Better Homes and Gardens, again, have you heard the name Better Homes and Gardens?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh, okay, so here in the state of Utah, 97% of the people have heard the name Better Homes and Gardens. So when they see that lovely Better Homes and Gardens sign in front of your home, they're going to be able to Google and find your home quickly. They're going to be able to put your address in and find your home quickly.
Okay.
They're going to be able to, we all have apps, like mine is betterutahrealtor.com. Our company has apps. Better Utah Homes is also our website. And so we get a lot of traffic to our own personal websites and to the company's website. And of course, the Better Homes and Gardens National, tons of traffic to that.
Okay.
Most buyers start out looking online. Tell me, I know you've been looking for another bigger house because of different changes in your family dynamic, right?
Right.
Where have you been looking for a home?
Online.
Yes. And so we have a huge online presence.
Okay.
And so that's going to help you a great deal. So we have access to a database called Meredith Corporation, which is the magazine publication who publicizes magazines like Family Circle, Parents, Better Homes and Gardens Magazine, Traditional Home, all those magazines.
Okay.
Through the years, since 1927, Meredith Corporation has been keeping data on people who go onto their websites and into their magazines and looking for home advice. And they keep their name and their address and all that. They also do surveys of these people. They have contests. And have you ever entered a contest in a magazine or online?
Yes.
Have you noticed they ask you a whole bunch of questions when you're entering that contest?
Yes.
Okay, well, Meredith Corporation keeps all that in their database if there's one of their contests or one of their magazines.
Okay.
We have a database called Pinpoint that we can pinpoint the buyers looking for your home. Right?
Okay.
We can pinpoint what they can afford, whether they've said they want to move, what areas they want to move to, whether they want, property, not property, all that sort of stuff. We can do a very special pinpoint list and send out marketing materials to them about your home, kind of full-size, oversized color postcards of your home. And we usually send those out the second week your home is on the market. Because if we do our marketing, our pre-marketing properly, you should have your home under contract in the price range that you're in right now, due to statistics, within probably 7 to 12 days.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we will utilize Pinpoint, but we will utilize it if we don't get your home sold in this first 7 to 12 days.
Okay.
So the Pinpoint's amazing. Has anybody else told you about anything like that? We have a database. No. And we have an amazing yard sign. People recognize our name. We will do an open house. We will launch your home onto the market with an open house. That's how I personally do it. Not every agent does it that way, but in my case, I feel like you don't want 1,000 people going through your home over the course of a week, do you? No, that's a lot of people. So if we plan ahead and we do your open house next Saturday from just say like 10 in the morning to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we also include other real estate professionals, allowing them to bring people by your home. You and your family go out for the day. We've got it staged perfectly. We've already had all the gorgeous pictures online. We should be able to attract an offer by then. Okay. By the end of that day into Sunday, just say by Monday morning, we should have all the offers we need to be able to determine their highest and best and which one's going to be able to close and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll do an open house. We also participate in local events, and we have our app is on our mobile too. So I'll give you a copy of my app, and you can look at homes because I know you want to buy another home and get this one under contract.
Yeah.
You can look at homes right on my mobile app. Social media and flyers. We'll have a ton of flyers. We'll have flyers that you can give out to your friends at work and that sort of stuff. And I've already talked to you about being worldwide. And I've already talked to you about the power of Better Homes and Gardens. So now we're at the stage of pricing your home. Okay. And I want to go ahead, and I've got a whole market analysis. But before we get into the market analysis, I want to ask you, Jessica, with what I've shown you in my marketing plan and what I've told you about what I can do for staging and pictures and all of that, do you feel like I can sell your home?
Yeah, it sounds like you know what you're doing, and you've got lots of resources to
Definitely.
help do it.
Definitely. I definitely do. So let's take a look at your analysis then.
Okay.
The very first thing I like to show people on an analysis is the way appraisers do it and the way we do it as agents. We use a thing called the multiple listing service, and we pick homes that are around your home.
Okay.
Picking a home that has a similar kitchen to yours in Hooper, just say, is not going to be a correct comp. It's
Okay.
not what an appraiser is going to use. An appraiser is going to use a radius outside of your home and pick homes that are around your home size, the year built, definitely location first,
Okay.
and then he may or may not use homes that, like, you've got a new kitchen and you've got some new bathrooms and stuff like that. So he maybe will throw out comps that haven't done a new kitchen and new bathrooms, and he'll use comps that have done a new kitchen and bathrooms, but he's definitely going to use the ones around your house.
Okay.
So I picked through and found a bunch of sold. I also used some pendings or houses that have received offers that haven't closed yet, because this market is moving forward and the prices are going up. So I'll look at those, and I'll even sometimes glance at the actives. I could not find any homes that are active in the neighborhood. Because homes are just selling so fast in your area.
Yeah.
Especially you have 4 bedrooms and 2 baths.
Yeah.
That is the ideal home for a family. And you're a multi-level, that you don't have a ton of stairs to any particular thing. And
Right.
the fact that you have at least 2 bathrooms and you have a pretty good sized lot, all those things. So I picked through the comps. And so let's go ahead and go through the comps. And the way I like to go through the comps is I like to do it together. I've obviously studied these before we got here, but I like to do it together so you kind of have a good idea. And these are all homes that have sold in the last 90 days. Okay, because that's what appraisers are using, because homes are selling so quickly, we have enough to choose from in the last 90 days, right? So here's the first one here in Roy. It's not very far away from yours. It sold for $280,000 on March 18th. It had similar square footage, but it was a little older than your home. Let's take a look at the pictures, okay? Your lot, I believe, is a little bit bigger than that one too.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the pictures and see what it looks like. Because to me, people shop by comparison, and even though this one's sold, it gives us an idea of, okay, what sold for 280, why? What's different than your home? Okay, it looks like it's got some kind of maybe not as popular paint colors.
Okay.
Looks to me like they've left a lot of clutter.
Okay.
And they haven't updated their kitchen at all, or you've updated yours, so
Right.
so that's kind of a concern. So I believe that this one's not the best comp.
Okay.
So let's go on to the next one. This one's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's actually 2.5 baths. It's a multi-level like yours. It has a 2-car garage. Doesn't have RV parking like yours.
Okay.
So this is the price they're asking for that one, the $292,500, and it sold March 6th. Does have central air, and yours does too. Is that the same size of lot you have, or is yours a little smaller?
Mine's bigger.
Yours is bigger, that's what I thought. So yours is bigger lot. Let's take a look at this layout. Okay, it looks like they did declutter, and
Okay.
they made it very clean. See that?
Yeah.
They have updated the kitchen a little bit by putting in some laminate wood flooring, and it looks like they put in some new countertops. Looks like they have kind of newer appliances, but not stainless steel. So stainless steel is kind of in right now. Stainless steel or black. Some people are actually going with colored appliances now. I believe as long as your appliances are in good condition and they look newer, that there shouldn't be an issue on the sale. Do all your appliances work?
Yes.
Are you including your fridge?
Yeah.
All right, let me put that on my paperwork here so we have that. Because that way we'll have less paperwork to do at the end when you hire me.
Okay.
So, all right, so here we go. So this one was on the market for 2 days. It actually, so it actually was only on the market for 2 days and actually sold for $315.
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of nice. This one's still a smaller lot than yours. Square footage is almost exactly the same. Isn't yours 2,200 square feet?
Yeah.
This one's 2,172. What year was yours built in?
98.
98. So this one's, okay, 99. Yours is 99. So this one's a little older. So doesn't have RV parking, and you have RV parking. Has a similar lot. Do you have some brick on yours?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So let's look at this one. Newer carpet. It's got a fireplace. Looks like they've done some nice two-tone paint. They've updated the bathrooms. This one sold for $315. So that's great. That's great. This is very similar to yours, in my opinion. Do you feel that way?
Yes.
Okay. And then we got this one for $297, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 99, but smaller square footage, 1,834 square foot. Looks like they've got some nice laminate flooring on this one. So we kind of look at all of the comps. These are all the ones that have actually sold. And it gives us really good ideas about staging. And it also gives us really good ideas. Like, look, they painted their cabinets black. I don't know if, I'm grateful you painted yours white with some gray on the bottom. I think that is really a lot of people really like that, the white on the top and the gray on the bottom, the two
Okay.
different colors. And I like the fact that you've got the hard surface countertops.
Yeah.
Versus the Formica. These are all little upgrades that will help you get more for your house, but still be able to get the appraised value in.
Okay.
So I've kind of gone through all of the comps. You see this one? This one went for a little less than yours. But it, of course, again, is a smaller lot and it's less square footage and it's older than yours. So here we go, same type of thing. This one here is the highest one I've seen for $335. Had less square footage and it was older than yours, but it has a huge lot. It's 0.37, so the lot's bigger.
Okay.
Looks like they have RV parking too. Looks like they have a giant detached garage. So we got to take that into consideration.
Okay.
You know, they've got that extra giant detached garage. Looks like the staging's been done pretty well. Doesn't have the hard surface countertops though, but it does have that extra garage, and you know how our husbands are, they'll like that garage.
I have that.
This gives you a summary of the solds and of the under contracts, okay? And when you analyze those, it looks like the lowest price was $280 in the solds and the highest sold was $315, 17 days on the market. And I can tell you if you went with a discount brokerage or you try to do it yourself, it's going to take you a lot longer than 17 days. In the under contract listings, it looks like the lowest price was $289.9 and the highest price was $335. That's the one with that garage, that extra garage. And 9 days on the market.
Okay.
Does it sound like it would be great to do it within like a couple of weeks?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like we can do if you go ahead and you list with us. What are you thinking at this stage? What other questions do you have?
So I actually have a list of questions.
So let's go through your list of questions and see if I can answer them. And I was very thrilled that you also emailed me a copy of that list. When we talked on the phone and I said, hey, email me a copy of your questions so I can make sure I'm prepared for your listing appointment. That always makes me feel like I want to make sure that everything gets answered before we move forward. So go ahead, tell me what your questions are.
Okay, so first one I think we already covered, how can I get the most amount of money for my home?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me give you one of my personalized pens too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that way you've got that and you can mark off your, and when you get ready to sign your listing, you'll have a pen already. It's always, I have a sense of humor, we'll find that out. So,
Okay, the next question is, what do I need to do to prepare my home to sell?
I have a list of things right here.
Okay.
So if I share this list with you, will you just get discouraged and just stay in your home? Or will you do it?
It depends on how significant it is.
So, and this is where, so from a scale of 1 to 10,
Okay.
how badly do you want to move out of this house?
Like a 10.
Okay, so we're going to do these things. So then I'll share them with you.
Okay.
So as I was going through your home, I noticed that you probably have twice as much furniture in every room that you need.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason being is you want people to be able to imagine their stuff there. So we'll have to move some furniture.
Okay.
I also noticed that you had some kind of personalized paint colors. You know, sometimes with our kids' rooms, you know, purple seems like a good idea, or a black wall in the teenager's room seems like a great idea, but it's not. And so we'll have to primer coat and paint those. We want to have neutrals.
Okay.
Neutrals with a little bit of design, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we can talk about those. I did notice that your dishwasher was a little older.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm recommending that we maybe replace that, preferably with the same color as your fridge and stove are.
Okay.
You know, which is the stainless, which I really like. And people really like it because they just think it's more modern. Stainless seems to be modern. Although I will tell you, people will buy homes with other colored appliances also. But
Okay.
Stainless is great. So I didn't see any deferred maintenance. It looks like you and your husband have kept things up.
Yeah.
I would add some more flowers out front and a few things, some more trimming and things like that to do better curb appeal.
Okay.
Because remember our 3 C's: clean, clutter, curb appeal.
Okay.
Half of your master closet and all of your closets probably needs to be packed up. Also, maybe half of the stuff in your kitchen needs to be packed up. And I really prefer to sell homes with clear countertops and maybe just a vase of really fresh flowers. I like to stage the dining room table with really nice dishes and some nice flowers, that sort of stuff. Yeah, I noticed you have dogs. I have a dog too. The dogs need to go. And not to the pound, but just to you and your friends, you know, while, especially during the open house and especially during showings, any evidence of pets, best not to have any evidence of pets.
Okay.
I probably would clean the carpet on your stairs because that seems to get a lot of wear on it.
Right.
And then just tell your entire family not to wear their shoes in the house anymore. And we can have some booties so nobody else will be wearing their shoes in the house anymore too.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Anything else?
Oh, we kind of sort of covered this one.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about Homey and what can you tell me about them?
Yeah, and we can revisit that right now.
Right.
As I showed you my marketing plan, I'm going to just tell you, Homey's marketing plan is to get as many people into their system as possible. I don't know exactly all how they do that. I know I've worked with Homey agents on the other side of transactions. I've worked with Homey buyers agents on the other side of transactions when I've been the seller's agent, and it felt like they were not, I had the buyers calling me with questions.
Okay.
They use a system of different people do different things, and so they don't get one agent. In my case, you're going to get one agent. I'm your agent. I'm the point of contact. I do have a team. Okay, I have a team through Better Homes and Gardens National to help me with my marketing, and I have a team in my transaction coordinator. Her name's Tanea. She actually sells like 20 to 50 houses a year, and is really an amazing person. She's my transaction coordinator also. She's part of my team.
Okay.
But the different discount brokerages and Homey specifically that you just mentioned, as the client, I have to address that. They are not going to give you the same level of service or probably have the same level of experience as I do. Okay. So, and my mom and dad always taught me, you always get what you pay for. But my dad also taught me this: if you pay for quality, that's what you get, and it always ends up being more economically the best decision you could have made.
Okay.
Like if you buy a better car, or you buy a better fridge, or you buy a better realtor, you're going to get your money's worth.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. And then this one I kind of already covered too. Like, what if I sell it by myself?
Yeah. So
Went over that one.
you've kind of eliminated that idea. Once you see all the marketing you do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then let's see. The next one is how will I know how much money I am making in the sale of my home?
Which we are going to go ahead and do a net sheet once we decide about the price. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do a net sheet. I'm just checking the time because I know you're time concerned. And for every offer we get in, what we will do is if we get 20 offers in, just say, sometimes that happens, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3. If we price your property right, we will get multiple offers. That's just the way it is. We don't like to price it low to try to get 100 offers like some brokerages do. We prefer to price it where the appraiser is going to price it.
Okay.
We might get above asking price then, which is good. And that's kind of what we want to do. And so once we get offers, I have a title company net sheet, closing disclosure done on. You remember when you closed on this one, you had like a closing disclosure, it showed where all the money went?
Yeah.
I do the exact same thing for every single offer you get.
Okay.
So you can look and compare, what do I net more at? What will the appraiser do? Sometimes some agents will write an offer that's well above your asking, like for $370. Just some crazy offer because they want to win the offer.
Right.
And then they figure the appraisal will come in low, and then you'll have to take less because you're already all attached to your new home and you need to get closed. Yeah. We sometimes will toss those offers out because they're not really legitimate offers, and we found that the appraiser will actually come in lower when he sees the offer so high. And he might even come in lower than your asking price. So we like to set your asking price right around where the appraiser is going to be, so that way we like to look at offers that are around that to make sure that they close.
Okay.
So,
yeah. And then once my home is for sale, do I need to do anything during that time?
No, because I'll handle everything. The only thing that I will be doing is texting you and telling when they're showing.
Okay.
And like I said, we're going to have that launching open house. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll have much interest and so many looks that day from other agents and from buyers I have, and from your neighbors, and from people who see the signs, and from people who see all the marketing that come to it. Hopefully we have so many offers that it'll be, you'll show your home once, and then they'll come back by to do an inspection, and they'll come back by to look at it with their friends and their parents because they always want to, and then you'll come back by to do the final walkthrough, and you'll be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
So 4 or 5 times, hopefully.
Okay.
In this market, if we do their job correctly, that's how it should be.
Okay.
And the price range you're into. Higher price ranges, you're in the 300 to 325 range. Higher price ranges, it might take a little longer, but I think in this price range, you should be good.
Okay. And then the next one, I think we kind of already sort of touched on that one. Do I need to make any major repairs to my home?
I think the dishwasher, from what I can see,
Just the dishwasher?
and what you mentioned already during the tour,
Yeah.
there will be an inspection. A buyer will probably do an inspection. Some people, like yourself, will maybe hire an inspection company ahead of time and leave that inspection, do all the repairs and leave that inspection on the counter. That's something that you could decide if you want to do or not do.
Okay.
Normally the buyer pays for an inspection, but sometimes I've had sellers pay for the inspection because they don't want someone to go get another inspection. Sometimes I've had sellers pay for the inspection and the person still goes and gets another inspection, they still have more repairs to do. So that's a decision we can make during the paperwork.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what do you suggest I do to make my home more appealing?
We're going to stage it and we're going to get rid of the clutter and we're just going to make it look great. We
Okay.
will. You've seen some pictures. You've seen some pictures of houses that didn't look great and we've seen some pictures of houses that do look great.
Okay.
I think we should make your home look great. And just we'll add a few things. I have some throw pillows. I always like to add fresh flowers and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we'll just do some things.
And then this one we kind of covered too. I want to move as soon as possible. So just want to know what
Yes.
needs to be.
And I've kind of showed you some timelines.
Yeah.
So we probably will be able to get your house under contract within 7 days to 14 days. In this price range, that's pretty typical if we price it right and stage it right.
Okay.
And then once you are under contract, we can go start looking. And we will accept the offer for yours contingent on you finding a home of your choice.
Okay.
And then we will go out and look and we will coordinate the dates of possession and closing. So you only move once.
That'll be good.
Okay? That's what professional realtors do.
I like that.
It's not what discount brokerages do, and it's not how you do it when you're for sale by owner. I've had friends of mine that were for sale by owner. They're actually a relative. They went for sale by owner. It took them 69 days to sell their home. And they ended up having to move all their stuff in and move in with family because they didn't really coordinate the home they were buying. So it's nice it saves thousands of dollars really to use those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do you think will help us sell faster? Sounds like staging.
Staging
Okay.
and the international marketing plan, a solid marketing plan.
Okay.
Let me just check this out.
All right. Okay. And what can we do to drive the price up to make it worth more?
Okay, let me just take a look at this, make sure there's not an emergency. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
No, it looks like everything's going good with the recording. I thought maybe it was a recording issue. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Oh yeah, drive the price up to make it worth more.
Yeah, the multiple offers will help with that. So if
Okay.
someone comes to an open house and they see that there's 10 other people there, it drives the price up. Because their agent then leaves and tells them, hey, we're in a multiple offer situation between the prices. Here in Roy, we're in multiple offer situations between 250 and 350. Just saying.
Okay.
You have 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, and a bigger lot and RV parking, and your home looks really well. So we should still, we're not at the 350. We're probably at the, I don't know, the 350 to 325 range.
Okay.
Which is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking it might be.
Notice how I slipped that in, so we kind of know when we get to the paperwork that
Okay.
we're in the same range, and we want to make it look as good as we can, but we also want it to be as appealing as we can.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that what was your question again?
What I can do to drive the price up to help it make it worth more.
Letting people see that tons of people are looking at it during the open house,
Okay.
and I can make sure tons of people come to the open house.
Okay. That'll be good. And then I live pretty much on a main road.
I noticed
super
that.
busy.
Which is going to help people coming for the open house because we're going to be able to not have to have as much signage out there. We'll have balloons and signage. And we'll also boost it on Facebook that we're having an open house, and we'll boost it and on KSL and all sorts of places. And within our realtor network, I turn around and I call the top 30 agents that have sold homes in Roy
Okay.
and we invite them to the open house. Okay. I may find your buyer, and sometimes I do, maybe about 10% of the time, but
Okay.
most likely another agent's going to bring your buyer.
Okay.
Okay. So.
So with that main road, is that going to drive the price of my house down?
Not according to the appraiser. It'll be a little bit of an adjustment. I was actually talking to an appraiser last week, and I said, I know this house is on a busy road.
Mm-hmm.
Are you discounting the appraisal because of that? And he said, no. He goes, I really don't. He goes,
Okay.
maybe just a little bit in my back of my mind, maybe. He goes, but I just use the comps.
Okay.
So I think it will for the buyer, but I think also too, you have a fenced yard.
Yeah.
And you have a big yard. So that might be able to make up the difference of the busy road. It will bring it down a little bit, but not as much as you think it will.
Okay.
Okay. Because if you do the right marketing and you get as many people through here as you can, and we're in a supply and demand market, we are in a seller's market and you are a seller. When you go to buy, when I'm helping you to buy, we're going to have multiple offers and it's going to be crazy. That I have full confidence we'll find what you want.
Okay. And then I have my neighbors are kind of trashy. Is that going to impact anything?
I noticed them when I came in. So I noticed they're not doing their yard and they have some older vehicles.
A lot.
How close are you to those neighbors? Like how friendly are you with them?
We say hi.
Okay, good. So you say hi, that's good. Good. There's not been any fights about their trashy yard or
No.
Good. I would say to you, we're going to sign this listing agreement here in just a minute. One of the things I need you to do, we're gonna launch it onto the market a week from now because it's gonna take us a little bit of time to get the dishwasher in and get all the clutter done and all the stuff into your storage unit, all the stuff that we need to do. Right? Okay. So we're gonna sign a listing addendum at the same time. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have you, because you're just looking so cute, and you with your little daughter with you, who's very cute, in a non-controversial way. I'm gonna have you go over to them. We're going to put your sign up and we're going to put coming soon. And then you're going to go over to them and you're going to say, hey, I'm selling my house. We need a bigger house because our family's growing and you know, all the things that you've told me. And do you mind if my lawn guy or my brother or my friend or whoever does your lawn right now mows your lawn and kind of gets some water on it? And then also too, you have a few extra cars here. Do you mind like parking them either around the side or can you maybe park them maybe at a relative's house or a friend's house or something?
Okay.
And see if they're willing to do that.
Okay.
And just say, you'll be helping me out and you'll also be helping yourself out. Because if I sell my house for more, that means your house is worth more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. That could work.
Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Okay, excellent. Good. Good. All right. So we good? Or do you have any more?
I've got let's see.
I know you've got that appointment with your daughter.
I think the rest of them we've kind of already gone over.
Let me just glance through them real quick here and see. Decorating we're going to do.
Yeah.
What will I need to pay for the transaction? I'm going to show you right now.
The dogs.
And the dogs. We got all of it all set up.
Okay.
So this is the actual paperwork. And there is actually more paperwork than this, but I'm going to have you do the main things first. And then because you're in tight from time and I'm coming back to do your staging, I'll pick up the rest of the paperwork then. Okay. So this is the seller's property disclosure. So I want you to go through all this. Actually, your husband's not on title, but I want you to talk to him about this too if he's done any repairs. Right. You want to disclose everything you know about the property. So every broken thing, every leak you've ever had, every missing shingle, everything you know about. Because this is the disclosure. This is the area with the largest lawsuits. This is the area where people have problems. So I'm going to leave that with you. And when I come back, we're going to do that. We're going to take a look at our calendar here. And I've kind of put a date that is, let me just take a look at my calendar real quickly here. All right, so we got Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to take you some time. And then we've got this, and then the following weekend is the 30th, is the Saturday where I think I want to launch it onto the market. How do you feel about that? You think we can have everything done by then?
By next weekend.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Next weekend. That might be doable. Maybe like the following weekend.
So the first weekend in June?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's what I've got here on this listing addendum is that we're actually not going to put it on the market until June 6th.
Okay.
All right, there's my alarm for you to not miss your appointment. So perfect. So we're going to do that. And then here's the actual listing agreement. This is all kind of one document. Okay. So we kind of thought about the 315 to the 325. What are you thinking?
I like the higher, the 325.
Okay. So what if we say we're going to put it on the market for 325?
Okay.
We're going to do that, and it's going to go officially on the market on June 5th, which is the Friday. And on the bottom, it's going to say, it's going to go on that morning. On the bottom in the agent remarks, and on the remarks, it's going to say no showings until June 6th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the open house. Okay? Because I feel like in this price range, we'll get a whole bunch of people looking at it. We'll be able to market it to all of our agents in our offices and also the top producing agents, like I was saying, and also to all my buyers, and all the agents in my office can market it to their buyers, and we'll just create a frenzy. Okay. So we're going to list it at 325. Some people would say 324.9, but I'm just going to say 325 because I feel like you can probably get that.
Okay.
This is an actual form that the Division of Real Estate in the Utah Association of Realtors drew up. This is to protect you and to protect me.
Okay.
As soon as we sign this, I start spending money, time, effort, and money. Okay, my time to help you stage it all, tell you what to get rid of, what to keep, all that sort of stuff. Money on the actual professional photos,
right.
Money on all the marketing and stuff. So that's why it's kind of a two-way contract.
Okay.
And again, you believe I can sell your home, right?
It's sounding like you can. So
yes, definitely. And I believe that you'll net more money in a shorter period of time. I really do. My brother-in-law ended up netting less money because he was in that other contract and he had to get out of that. So he had to pay a friend that was an attorney to help him get out of that and get it back on the. It was a nightmare. His wife was pregnant at the time. It was horrible. So anyway, I love my family though. They're good people. So I ended up being the one to bring the buyer for them, by the way.
Okay.
So here we go. So exclusive right to sell. This gives me and Better Homes and Gardens the exclusive right to sell your home. Better Homes and Gardens is who you're actually listing with. Okay.
Okay.
So I do have a team of people. If I was to get hit by a truck tomorrow, that would step in and help you. Mainly my main assistant Tamaya would, but
Okay.
also some of the other people in my office would probably help too. Just to let you know. So there is a team agency over here that I'm going to have you sign to. But this is the terms of the listing. I take all my listings for a year. We're in a pandemic right now. Who knew?
Right.
When 9/11 happened, I'm going to tell you, loans did not go through for about a week. Things were pretty crazy and people were pretty crazy. So it's not going to take me a year to sell your home. It's actually probably going to take me 2 weeks at the very most to have an offer in, get you under contract, and then 30 days from the day we're under contract to get it closed.
Okay.
But we're going to need that time to go find your home too. So,
right.
So it's going to go fast. My brokerage fee, this is what my company does, and I'm just going to show you this sheet really quick here. So, because you're going to be doing the numbers in your head as soon as I show you this, and I want you to know something that I don't get all that money. It costs me money to do this business, right?
Right.
So here's this little graphic. There's the listing brokerage, which is Better Homes and Gardens. There's the listing agent, which is me, Kathy McGregor Critchlow.
Okay.
There's the buyer's agent and the buyer's brokerage. See how it's all split like a pie?
Right.
So really, the amount of money that you see here, probably 25% of it or so comes to me. By the time I pay my marketing and all that sort of stuff. But I have to be a part of Better Homes and Gardens because Better Homes and Gardens has the best marketing plan for you, the best staging information, the best information for you for the rest of your life on BHG.com. You know what I mean? We have Pinpoint, which nobody else has. And those higher price ranges, and we'll do some Pinpoint. I'll set up some Pinpoint for you too.
Okay.
So I do charge 6%, but as you can see, it gets split up.
Okay.
How are you feeling about that?
That seems like it's reasonable.
I'm going to offer 3% to the buyer's agent. Okay, that's what this contract says right there.
Okay.
So the terms of the listing are a year, although it's not going to take me a year. The brokerage fee is 6%, although I'm offering 3% to the buyer's agent. So I just need you to initial right there. Okay. I'm going to give you a copy of this if you want to read it word for word. Do you have any questions so far?
It sounds pretty straightforward so far.
Definitely. I have a protection period. So if we go under contract and something happens and we're no longer listed or something goes on, that somebody I showed the home to or something goes on, I still, with up to 3 months, get paid. This is the seller warranties where you warranty everything, that the title is just you and there's not a ton of liens on it.
Right.
And, there's just your one mortgage and that's it. So we're not selling it for less than your liens,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that you are going to give a full seller's disclosure. So I'm going to have you go ahead and initial there. So you're going to warrant title and you're going to disclose everything honestly. Is basically what that says.
Okay.
Agency relationships, as I kind of told you during it, I'm your seller's agent. I'm totally representing you. So people don't know that you want to pay off a little bit of bills or this or that or the next stage. No one's
Right.
going to know what your financial information is.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell anybody your fiduciary information. All right. I'm going to represent you. I'm going to be loyal, obedient, full disclosure, confidential. I'm going to take total reasonable care. And I have your full fiduciary interest at heart.
Okay.
So when we find that new home, we're going to look at those numbers too. And I'm going to make sure you can make this happen.
Right.
If you start wanting to look at homes that are $1 million and we both know you don't want that payment. Yeah, exactly. And I won't let you, you know.
Okay.
But I also will not let you give this house away for $299 because I know that it's worth more than that. Okay. So those kind of things. If I do find the buyer or someone in my brokerage finds the buyer, I become a limited agent or my broker becomes a limited broker. And when I say my broker, I mean my principal broker. I'm actually a broker of my branch and the broker of my office. But I mean my limited broker, which is the principal broker. Just say someone like his law office, for the office. Marino Talados is the principal broker, so he would be representing them. And if we had any problems at all and we had to sort things out, we would do that. If we bring you an offer from someone in my company, you'll be signing a limited agency at that time too. And the only duty that I would give up, or the broker actually would give up, is the fiduciary, the financial. But all your personal financial information, I'm not sharing with anybody. Okay.
Right.
Professional advice. You talked about taxes a little bit. You talked about the dishwasher if it needs to be replaced. Those are all things that you get professional advice. Okay. I only handle real estate. If there's any disputes, we go to mediation. If there's any attorneys involved, the losing party pays the attorney fees. And this is standard Utah contract law. Okay. So just have your initial there. Do you have any questions on any of that? I probably should ask you. And we'll just have you date it too.
What's the date? I don't know.
It's the 20th.
21st, right?
21st, yeah.
Yeah.
And we already know though, we're dating it the 21st, but we're actually doing a listing addendum saying that June 6th. Yeah, okay. So the next thing is advertising. You're gonna let me market it everywhere, right? In fact, you want me to do that to get the highest price. You're gonna disclose everything you can. We are gonna use the square footage from the county records, and I am gonna need a key to your property, and I'm gonna put a lockbox up. Okay, we order a preliminary title report. We talked about holding open houses already. Home warranty plans, and we'll talk about that. Personal property attachments. You're not a foreign investor, are you?
Yeah.
So on your personal property, please do not leave $100 bills sitting on your dresser on the day of the open house, or when you leave your home at all, or your giant wedding rings, or anything that can be picked up. You are responsible for your own personal property. Okay. However, there will be a realtor there during every showing, okay? And they are watching their buyers too, and those buyers are pre-qualified, so we try to keep you as safe as possible. Okay? We are going to attach this listing addendum because we're not going to be ready. You're not a foreign investor, are you? Okay. Equal housing, we practice that. So if a purple people leader wants to buy your house, we're selling it. If your neighbor with the messy yard wants to buy your house, we're selling it. Okay. We can fax things back and forth.
Okay.
I'm so thrilled that you're willing to talk to your neighbor, because sometimes people are not. And I think you're willing to do as much as I'm willing to do to get your house sold, huh? Yeah. Good, because we're a team. We're definitely a team. So we'll make sure everything that's liened on your property is paid upon closing.
Okay.
It's all due on sale, and the title company will make sure of that. Do you have a preference of a title company, by the way?
No.
No? I like Robin Moran at Real Advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and have her start the title stuff, okay? And she's great. She's really wonderful. This is an entire agreement, and the effective date is the date that we put on this listing addendum that say the effective date is June 6th. Go ahead and sign there, and I'll sign there. I'm going to give you a copy of this too. Excellent. Okay, so with that, we have now listed Jessica's property. We're super excited about it. On the call, if you guys want to, I'm going to unmute you guys. We have a few minutes left. Let me just do that. Hang on a second. How do I do this? Unmute everybody. Unmute.
At the bottom where it says unmute all.
Unmute all. Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
All right, so everyone's unmuted. We have a few more minutes left in the hour. Does anybody have any questions? You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask some questions, but that was a lot of information fast for our little listing presentation. Jessica really is selling your house, by the way, you guys. Not quite yet, but soon. So, anybody have any questions? Let's take a look at the chat. Okay, so Rick was just explaining his muting. Anybody have any questions? Do you want to put them in the chat box or do you want to ask them? Let me just go to gallery view. Wave at me if you have a question. Okay, no questions. All right, great. So listing presentations are different with every single person. I like to try to make my listing presentation about an hour long. I think most people, after an hour, you're kind of been at their home too long. They want you gone. I've kind of found about an hour and 15 minutes. I like to do a tour of the property. I like to go prepared like I'm going to list the home. That's what I always do. Just walk in there and like I'm going to list the home. The way I speak to the person is like I'm listing the home. I don't like the for sale by owner or the discount brokerage questions. Throw me off. I don't like to assume they're going to go with somebody else. I like to assume they're going to go with me. And if I do my job correctly, they do. Now, sometimes they want to talk about it and sleep on it. That doesn't mean I didn't get the listing. And I definitely feel like you always have to follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. But I also think you also have to send a pre-listing video because she's seen a professional pre-listing video ahead of time. I feel that that's super important. And then I also feel like you just need to go with a variety of comps because even though they tell you about their home may not be as nice as, or maybe nicer than the comparables that you brought. But keep in mind, we are going to be dealing with an appraisal. So make sure you use legitimate comps. And I can always help anybody with the CMA.